स्टार्ट किया क्या हमने?
चालू कर दिया आसिफ सर, चालू कर दिया सर। हाँ सर,
Should I start?
यस सर।
ओके, हाँ, खाली वो चैट इनेबल कर दीजिएगा ना, तो I'll know what is happening.
मिश्रा जी, ऑर्गेनाइजर के राइट्स दे दीजिए आप स्पीकर को।
हाँ दे दिया, दे दिया।
ओके
Okay. All right.
so we can start, right? आसिफ सर,
आसिफ सर तो बैटरी लो है। सर बोलिए सर। आसिफ सर,
आसिफ सर, ऑल ओके?
ओके दबाइए।
मिश्रा जी, मिश्रा जी, आसिफ सर की वॉइस नहीं आ पा रही है। उनके यहाँ से सब ऑल ओके है, अपने यहाँ से चेक कीजिए ना एक बार।
आपको मेरा आवाज बिल्कुल गलत सुन रहा है। हेलो,
हाँ, वो चेक कर रहे हैं मिश्रा जी एक बार। पर आप भी एक बार वहां से ट्राई कीजिए, देखिए पता नहीं, बिकॉज हमारी दोनों की आवाज आ रही है। चलो हो गया, आ गया आवाज आ गया।
नहीं, वो दूसरे लैपटॉप से आवाज आया है।
ओके
चलो देखते हैं, दो लैपटॉप पे शायद होगी।
ठीक है।
हेलो, am I audible now?
यस सर, ओके सर।
ओके ठीक है सर, पता नहीं क्या प्रॉब्लम था, आई डोंट नो, बट looks like the matter has been resolved.
आसिफ सर ऑडियो गया आपको वापस से? अरे आपका
Let me call him.
पता मैडम उनको जैसा बोला था अभी दोनों लैपटॉप ऑन किया तो मुझे दोनों लैपटॉप में ऑन करके चालू करेंगे।
नहीं,
एक
वो
में माइक
वीडियो ऑडियो क्वालिटी के चक्कर में उन्होंने किया है, बट आई डोंट नो व्हाई। डेली वो ऐसे ही कर रहे हैं, कभी प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुआ।
हाँ मैं अभी आपसे मैं आपसे अभी इनका ही कैमरा को माइक बंद कर देता हूँ, वाला माइक को ऑन कर देता हूँ। आसिफ सर पहले वाला लैपटॉप ऑन कर दीजिए और उसका माइक ऑन कर दीजिए, मैं इसका माइक ऑन कर देता हूँ।
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now I can hear you.
Acha. So here,
So all okay? Can we start?
if I'm audible, then I can start.
Yes, it is audible, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Sorry, but I think there were some major technical issues today. So let me just quickly take the session forward. Okay. And hopefully we should not have any more further problems. So today we're going to look at a few topics such as security audit, security monitoring. I'll do a small demonstration of security monitoring as well using a tool which we call as Wireshark. I realized you all enjoyed the demo yesterday as well, so I'll arrange for a small demonstration today as well. And then we will talk about a little bit about the IT Act of India, which is the IT Act 2000. And at the end, we will keep open for some questions because today is the last session and maybe even Saurabh sir might join in. So let's see. Okay. So quickly moving on to the first slide. What is an IT security audit? So it's like you have familiar with financial audits and accounting audits. It is a high-level description of many ways organizations can test and assess their overall security posture, including their cyber security. Okay, you might employ more than one type of security audit to achieve your desired results and meet your business objectives. Now, cyber security audit is part of the overall security audit, and we have to combine both of them together to a degree because the physical security is also important for your cyber assets. Okay, so we look at both of them when we are comparing, the when we're trying to work out when we're looking at the audit. So whether it's cyber security or physical security, we need to combine both of them. Okay. So the benefits of security audit include that it allows us to verify that your current security strategy is adequate, or if it is inadequate. It also allows you to find out if there are any training efforts which you have taken, are they working or they are not working, how effective your training has been. It also allows you to uncover any extraneous hardware or software means something which is not installed by you. So it will find out if there is some illegally, connected network devices in your network, or there would be any software which have been installed by your employees or somebody without your knowledge. It will also reduce the cost of mixing the use of unnecessary resources. Okay, because many of the things which are software which are installed sometimes could be for personal use. For example, if somebody's installed a torrent software in your network to download movies for their personal consumption, so your bandwidth is being hogged by those kind of softwares, and your overall network speed reduces. So all those kind of flaws can also be identified using security audits. Okay. It also will make your organization compliant with many of the regulations which are out there. So depending on what organization you have, you might have different kinds of regulations which you need to comply with, and those will be also be taken care of. An audit, security audit workflow is very similar to generally any audit. So you might be very familiar with these steps. So step number one is to define the assessment criteria. So you determine the overall goals to be addressed in the audit, and you break them down into objectives to departmental priorities. Okay, and then agree on to how the audit will be performed and tracked. Whether it will be an external audit, internal audit, who will be doing it, what will be the mandate of the audit. So you then prepare the security audit, that is you prioritize the success criteria and business objectives, which you want to achieve from your audit. and then select the required tools and methodologies to meet these goals. Okay, so there are a lot of tools which are available in the area of IT security. Every few months or we start getting new tools. People, there are always a company, somebody or the other who is creating a new tool. There are some which are very popular and standardized. One of them we'll be using today. There are some others which unfortunately I can't use without licensing, and because I'm at home and I'm using my home computer, I don't have the licenses to use them at home. And sometimes some of them are frankly too dangerous to be used without proper setups. Okay, so which might not be possible in a home computer. We then look at how the actual audit would be conducted. So that's the implementation of the audit. Okay, so you take care that you provide appropriate documentation during the audit. Okay, so that your reports and everything which you generate are proper. You also monitor the audit progress and data points for accuracy, and you use previous audits, okay, as a starting point to deep dive into the finer details rather than going from a fresh. Also, share the results with your previously determined parties that during the planning of the audit you would have decided who would be getting the reports, and then create a list of action items which needs to be based on depending on the audit. So every audit will have a set of recommendations at the end, and you prioritize fixes to remediate the security items. So you prioritize what are the most severe concerns. So we categorize them into red, amber, and green. That's generally how a security audit would categorize the areas of concern. Red being the most priority, most urgent, attention-seeking kind of items. Okay. So that's the theoretical background about a security audit. Now, today, what we will be doing is we will be looking at a software called as a Wireshark. Okay, now this software called Wireshark is used to monitor, a network traffic. Okay, and this can be installed on any device in your network to monitor the traffic on that network or to monitor traffic on that device. Okay, so if I install it on a firewall or a gateway, then I can analyze all the traffic which comes into your network and goes out of your network. Okay. So today, obviously, I'm at home, so I will install it on my laptop. In fact, some of you all might have even seen the steps while I was installing them. Okay. Okay. So let me just too far. Sorry, I just have to, because I have to change my computer laptop at the last moment, I have to install it afresh. Therefore, I have my new Wireshark installed. I'm switching on my Wireshark. So this is what you will get for the first time, okay? Because this was not installed on this laptop earlier. So what you will see is what you will get if you install it on your machine. Okay. So this screen which you see now is the home screen of the Wireshark software. Okay, you will see the different adapters. This is what we call as network adapters. Okay, so I have my Wi-Fi, local area network, Bluetooth network, loopback, and Ethernet. Okay, so Wi-Fi is where you will see some, the up and down zigzag signatures. That means my Wi-Fi is in use. My Wi-Fi adapter is having some communication happening right now. So I can select this Wi-Fi, and then what will Wireshark do? So Wireshark as a software will capture all the network traffic on a particular network interface. So if I select this Wi-Fi as my network interface, all my Wi-Fi traffic, okay, on my machine will be captured by Wireshark, and I can analyze that traffic. Okay, so if I want to monitor and I want to analyze what is happening in my network, and if I want to, some people were telling me, asking me, questions like, yeah, how can I know if my machine is being hacked into or somebody is launching an attack? So this is how people would actually do it. Okay, so they will use a similar software or Wireshark themselves. Wireshark is a free tool. There are some paid tools available which are also called as intrusion detection systems. Okay, but an intrusion detection system is basically doing this, and then in an intrusion detection system, you could build in processes to analyze and identify threats automatically. Okay, here it is a manual process that when you want to analyze it, a human being needs to analyze it. Okay, but if you build, if you buy an intrusion detection system, it will do the same thing. It will, step number one will be capturing packets and analyzing those packets. At the same time, it will analyze it for you without a human intervention. Okay. I'm getting a lot of echo. Okay. Sorry, I'm actually using two laptops to be fair because of the sound problem. Okay. Let's see how. So one of the questions, can we try it on our PC? Then obviously yes, you can. Okay. So now what I do is I select this Wi-Fi, okay, and I right click on it, and I say start capture. So when I will click on, I've not clicked on it yet. When I click on the start capture, it will start capturing network traffic. Okay, so let me just click on it right now. You will see something happening over here. Okay, in the screen now. The screen does not get updated on your screen as fast as it is actually happening on my screen, that I realize. But a lot of things are happening. If you look at the bottom, okay, over here, so if you look at over here, there are packets which have been captured. So it will capture a huge number of packets. I will stop it by clicking the stop button. Okay, otherwise, there is so much of traffic which is happening that my entire system will be filled with data. So currently, 24,932 packets are captured in that short amount of time. So you can imagine the amount of data which is traveling on the network. Okay, obviously because I'm also talking to you all, so there is a huge amount of data which is going very, very quickly because it's a video, it's a webinar, so the entire video format uses a high amount of bandwidth. So a huge amount of data is going. What you will do, what you can see over here is this data traveling to this one particular IP address, 68.64.4.187. Okay, and it says that the traffic is what we do. So this is my laptop's IP address. If you remember, I showed my IP address yesterday. That was using a different laptop. Okay, so just to give you a quick idea, CMD, if you remember, the command was ipconfig to check my IP address. Okay, so when we do ipconfig, you will be able to see the IP address. So my IP address is 192.168.31.140. So this is a different laptop. Okay, so this laptop has my addresses with 31.140, and then the destination addresses are different. So when I see so there is a source column, okay, there is a destination column. Okay, so there is a source column, there is a destination column. The first column is time. Okay, this is time in seconds from the first packet. Okay, seconds and milliseconds. Okay, from the time I started capturing. Okay, so this is not actual time. This is time, number of milliseconds or seconds from the time I started capturing. Okay, and these are the what are packets? Packets are basically blocks of information which travel over the network. So there are packets which are going out of my system and packets which are coming into my system. So if the source address is 192.168.31.140, that means the packet is going from my machine and to destination somewhere else. And if I receive something from somewhere to 192.168.31.140, that means this is something which I am receiving from the network. Okay, so when I'm using a GoToWebinar software, I will be sending packets out and I will be receiving packets as well. Okay, so because of this, you will see my IP address sometimes in the source column, sometimes in the destination column. Okay, now the fourth column is the protocol column. Now, I don't expect you all to understand too much about the protocols, but the protocol tells me what kind of information is traveling, is being sent out or is being received. Okay. When I'm sending video needs to be sent very fast, but it is unreliable. Unreliable means you will be seeing me, some of the frames of the video are lost. In between frames are lost. And you can just see my, maybe my hand moving from here to here, and you don't see it moving in a smooth fashion sometimes. That's because the packets in between are lost. Now, this happens when the protocol which we use is called UDP, User Datagram Protocol. Okay, and it is the best protocol when we want to transfer video because it is the fastest. The problem is it is unreliable. It does not guarantee that all the packets will be received by you. As a result, it might happen that some of the frames in between will be lost. But in case of a video, it is important for the speed to be good rather than everything to be delivered. Because in a video, even if some in between packets are lost, it is fine. Okay, so here you will see UDP packets. This gives me a clear indication that this is some data which is going out of my system very fast, and because it's going to the same IP address again and again and again, this would be the GoToWebinar server through which the data is actually going out, okay, to you all. Okay, that's my assumption. So if I want to check a packet, I can click on a packet. So this is one of the packets which I have. I will click on this packet. Okay. In the screen below, you will start seeing the information about that packet. Okay. So the frame is how a packet looks like at the data link layer. If you remember, there were 7 layers. So data link layer is the layer 2. Okay. The Ethernet is a protocol which is used at data link layer. Then Internet protocol, user datagram protocol, and the data. The actual data inside, if I click on this data and I click on this, I can see the data at the bottom. If you see the blue colored section below, this is my data. Now, obviously, this data is looking all jumbled up because it is encoded in, it's a video data which has been encoded. Now, when I'm trying to display it in characters, because मेरा नाम या alphabet या मेरा script तो नहीं बताने वाला है. Okay, so it doesn't make sense to you right now when you look at it in the screen below because it is all encrypted data. Okay, and encoded in a format. Okay, so you can't read this, but you can read if the data is in a plain HTTP format. So if I have a protocol, so I can sort this by protocol, okay. And then I will try to scroll to find something called as HTTP code. Unfortunately, there are no HTTP data currently being seen. Some of the HTTP data which is actually encoded is in form of TLS. Okay, TLS is another protocol which is used for secure HTTP communication. So most of our data which we use nowadays is not HTTP, but it is HTTPS. Okay, so when you go to a website, you might have seen this HTTP colon / something. So that is the protocol which we use for browsing the internet. So let's go to some website, okay, using HTTP. So I'll go to, let's say my website, http / asifr.me, okay, which is an HTTPS website. So I will go to my website. And what I will do now, okay, I should have actually started the capture again. I should start capturing. Okay, so let me do one thing. I will click on this capture button, and there is a start options. Okay, if you go to options over here, you can select what adapter to select. So I'm selecting Wi-Fi. Let me just show you again. Capture menu. Capture का menu है. यहाँ पे if I go to options, which is the first option, okay, I will see a screen where I can select the interface. Okay, so here I can see all the interfaces. So here I select Wi-Fi, and then when I select Wi-Fi, I will have to click on start. When I click on start, automatically this will start capturing again. जैसे packets capture कर रहा था वो वापस चालू करेगा. At that time, it will ask me whether I want to save जो भी मैंने capture किया था क्या मुझे save करना है. तो I don't want to save, so I will say continue without saving. So when I say continue without saving, it will start capturing without saving. I will again go to my website, again refresh this ताकि ये मेरे website का data भी capture हो जाए उसके अंदर. Okay, and I will go here and I will stop the capture. Okay, so now how do I know कि मेरे website का data capture हुआ है? So what I can do is I can find out my website का IP address. आपको याद है मैंने कल आपको command बताया था ping. So with the ping command, I can ping my website, which is asifr.me. Okay, so this is my website, and you will see my website has an IP address 162.251.85.205. My website, I have blocked any ping request. Okay, so denial of service attack now obviously I have blocked anybody to ping my website. So you cannot ping my website; it will be timed out. But you will see this IP address 205. Okay, 162.251.81.85.205. So now let me just see if I can find a packet which has gone to my website. Yes, I'll have to scroll this. You see thousands of packets which have gone there, gone to various types of websites. I think I just saw it somewhere. Let me just slowly scroll. Yeah. Starting with this is, my browser sending the first request to the website. ये मेरा पहला वाला request. You will see a client saying hello message. This is where my browser contacted the web server. Okay, so this is called the handshake protocol, which is the starting of the communication. Okay, now you will see all these messages between my browser and the server 162.251.85. And then all these messages are going from my machine to this particular server, which is my website. उसके बाद भी अलग-अलग चीजें. There are lots of background processes running in my machine. Okay, so बहुत सारे अलग-अलग चीजें चालू है. So there will be lots of other IP addresses also. Okay, which I can't control because when I start capturing everything, I have to capture everything. I cannot control what it will capture. Now, what we can do is we could go to the filter over here. So, यहाँ पे एक filter का option है. I can filter for HTTP. Let me see if I can find any HTTP packets. So there are no HTTP packets which were being transferred. TSL. So these are TLS packets which are there. which I can, अगर मैं यहाँ पे कोई भी प्रोटोकॉल का नाम ऊपर डालता हूँ ग्रीन में, ग्रीन बॉक्स यहाँ पे दिख रहा है, अगर वो प्रोटोकॉल का नाम करेक्ट होगा तो वो मुझे उस प्रोटोकॉल के ही पैकेट्स दिखाए. Okay, so these are the messages which are coming from my web server to my machine. So you see, यहाँ पे डेस्टिनेशन में मेरा आईपी एड्रेस है और सोर्स में मेरे वेबसाइट का आईपी एड्रेस है. Okay, so I can take this one of this packet जो कहता है application data. Okay, and then I can go down and I can see the TLS packet. Now because it is using HTTP protocol, the data which will be there inside my packet will all be jumbled up. I won't be able to read it. Okay, so यहाँ पे दिख रहा है encrypted application data. तो अगर आप देखेंगे कि encrypted application data, तो ये encrypted है मेरा data. I won't be able to see what is happening. Okay. You remember that we had done the ping command, right? Ping uses a protocol called as ICMP. ICMP. Okay. यहाँ पे अभी कोई भी ICMP पैकेट फिलहाल नहीं है. What I will do is I will start a continuous ping to www.facebook.com. Okay, ये 4 पैकेट है ना. कंटिन्यूस पिंग करने के लिए we will write ping -t writing ping -t space www.facebook.com. So the moment I do this, यार मेरे ये मेरा हेलो हाई मैसेज आपको याद है, मैंने बोला था कि पिंग से हेलो मैसेज, तो ये एक एको रिक्वेस्ट होता है, तो ये हेलो भेजता है, वहां से वापस हेलो या हाई वापस आता है. So now what do? I start capturing again. I say continue without saving and I start capturing again. This time I'm capturing only ICMP packets because मैंने filter यहाँ पे रखा हुआ है ICMP. So you will see that all the ICMP messages are being captured. And अगर आप IP address देखेंगे 157.240.16.35, which is the address of Facebook, and you will see alternate messages. एक बार मेरे यहाँ से हेलो गया, वहां से वापस हेलो आया, हाई वापस गया, वहां से वापस हाई आया. So it will be एक टाइम मेरा एड्रेस सोर्स में है, दूसरी टाइम मेरा एड्रेस डेस्टिनेशन में है. उसी तरह फेसबुक का भी एड्रेस स्वैप होते रहता है, सोर्स डेस्टिनेशन. These are ping requests and replies which are coming in. Okay. If I go to the message and if I go into the detail of the message, I can read the data also. So it will show me the hello hi message जो मैं बोलता हूँ ना, वो आपको दिखाएगा. You will see the message contains A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W A B C D E F G and hi. ये मतलब वो भरना होता है ना, खाली जंक मैसेज हेलो भेजना है तो उसके अंदर भर देते हैं ABCD EFG करके और एंड में हाई लिखते हैं, एंड द सेम रिप्लाई कम्स बैक. तो अगर मैं रिप्लाई चेक करूंगा तो उसका डेटा में भी सेम आएगा ABCD EFG करके और एंड में हाई. नाउ द क्वेश्चन कम्स इज हाउ डू यू आइडेंटिफाई अगर आपके वेबसाइट या आपका मशीन हैक हो रहा होगा. ओके, तो आसान नहीं है. जैसे मैंने कहा था, व्हाट विल हैपन इज यू विल हैव टू नो व्हाट योर नॉर्मल बिहेवियर ऑफ योर machine is and then compare it with the abnormal behavior. So that is what is done by intrusion detection systems. They automatically identify the difference between what is normal and what is abnormal. अब यहाँ पे मुझे दिख नहीं रहा, बट एक तरह का मैसेज होता है जो कहते हैं रीसेट. तो लास्ट का जो कॉलम है वो इन्फो का कॉलम है, उसमें there is an option for sometimes you get a response which is called a reset option. अगर सपोज somebody is trying to hack into your system, तो वो क्या करेगा, वो आपके मशीन के अलग अलग पोर्ट नंबर पे, ओके, these are the port numbers which you see 50848, ये सब जो है ना, ये आपके मशीन के पोर्ट नंबर्स हैं. हर पोर्ट पे वो ट्राई करेगा एंटर करने का. तो जब वो ट्राई करेगा एंटर करने का, आपका मशीन उसको रिजेक्ट करेगा. वो उसको रिजेक्ट करने के वक्त वो रीसेट कमांड भेजता है. वो बोलता है मेरे को मशीन को क्यों कनेक्ट कर रहा है. तो वो रीसेट जब भेजेगा, तो अगर आपको एक आधा रीसेट दिखा तो डरने की जरूरत नहीं है. बट अगर आपको बंच ऑफ रीसेट्स दिखे, इफ यू सी अ लॉट ऑफ रीसेट्स हैपनिंग, दैट मींस somebody is trying to poke into your machine. Somebody is trying to do something called as a port scan. Somebody is trying to check each of your ports whether any port is available जिससे के through वो हमारे मशीन में एंटर हो सके। तो इंट्रूजन डिटेक्शन सिस्टम्स क्या करते हैं, ये मॉनिटर करते रहते हैं और वो देखते हैं कि एनी पोर्ट इफ देयर इज अ कंटिन्यूअस रीसेट मैसेज आ रहा है क्या। रीसेट मैसेज आ रहा है मतलब somebody is trying to check all your ports and trying to get in, मतलब वो हर दरवाजा खोल के देखने की कोशिश कर रहा है कौन सा दरवाजा खुला है, कौन सी खिड़की खुली है जिससे मैं अंदर घुस जाऊं। So all of that is happening over here. Okay, so on a MacBook, the same process, the same software. Wireshark can be downloaded for Windows, can be downloaded for Linux, and can be downloaded for Mac OS. No problem. Software will remain the same. Ping तो command मैंने कल आपको बताया, just to send hello hi messages. Okay, वो Wireshark is the software. Okay. Any other questions over here with regards to Wireshark? तो आपको मॉनिटरिंग टूल रन करना पड़ेगा आपके वेबसाइट के सर्वर के ऊपर। If you want to check whether your website is getting hacked, if you want to check any machine is getting hacked, you will have to run a monitoring tool over there. Or if your website starts behaving something odd, जैसे कोई फाइल्स डिलीट हो गई है आपके वेबसाइट पे बैठे बैठे, where you have not done anything and something automatically deletes your files or defaces your website, then you know that somebody has hacked your website. मैक में कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट नहीं होता, उसमें क्या बोलते हैं उसको, शेल बोलते हैं, एक ही बात। टर्मिनल विंडो, सॉरी, टर्मिनल बोलते हैं, टर्मिनल शेल या टर्मिनल, डिपेंड्स ऑन विच ऑपरेटिंग वर्जन यू आर यूजिंग। तो टर्मिनल विंडो बोलते हैं इन अ मैक। यू कैन ओपन योर टर्मिनल, टर्मिनल पे यू विल सी द सेम, ऐसा ही आपको ब्लैक स्क्रीन दिखेगा एंड आईपी कॉन्फिग विल वर्क। आईपी कॉन्फिग की जगह पे वहां पे शायद आईएफ कॉन्फिग काम करेगा। IP is Internet Protocol configuration. In Mac and Linux, it is called interface configuration, IF config. Okay. So there's a good question by somebody, Mr. Parth Shah. If we close all the ports, can still anyone come into our system? So the answer is, if you close all the ports which are not required, for somebody to enter your system will be very difficult. But the problem is, if you cannot close all the ports, because if you close all the ports, your machine will not be connected to the network at all. तभी आप देखेंगे मेरे मशीन पे भी कितने सारे ports open हो गए, because when the moment I connect anything to the network, every network connection एक नया port use करता है. For example, अभी मैं GoToWebinar यूज कर रहा हूँ, तो GoToWebinar एक पोर्ट मेरे मशीन पे ओपन करेगा जिसके थ्रू डेटा बाहर जा रहा है और आपको रिसीव हो रहा है। Similarly, if there is a Mozilla opened on my machine, Mozilla will open another port. अगर there is any application which is using the network, इंटरनेट यूज कर रहा है, तो वो सब हर कोई एक अलग अलग पोर्ट ओपन करेगा। ये जैसे मैं अभी ये जो पीछे मैं आपको ये पिंग मैसेज भेज रहा हूँ, तो ये पिंग भी एक अलग पोर्ट से ही जा रहा है। So every time we do something, on the network, some port will be open. Okay. So सारे के सारे port block करना possible नहीं है, but yes, we should block whatever is not in use. Okay, so the tool which I am using is called Wireshark. Then there are other very sophisticated softwares which are available from companies like Cisco. Cisco has lots of products, lots of tools which are there available to check for, to monitor and to report. सब कुछ करने के लिए उनके पास बहुत एडवांस सॉफ्टवेयर है। See, port numbers are starting from 0 to 65,535. ये finite number of ports हैं हर machine में, 0 to 65,535. Okay, you can run a tool to check each port and whether they are open or closed. But a closed port does not mean that your machine cannot open it. Unless you install a firewall which blocks all the port, forcibly, it is port आज बंद है तो थोड़ी देर 2 मिनट के बाद चालू भी हो सकता है. और जैसे मैंने कहा, अगर आपको नेटवर्क एक्सेस करना है तो आपको पोर्ट कोई ना कोई पोर्ट तो खुलना ही पड़ेगा. और हर कनेक्शन के लिए एक नया पोर्ट. अगर आप 4 वेबसाइट ओपन करते हो तो 4 पोर्ट खुल जाएंगे कभी कभी. अगर आप 2-3 ब्राउजर्स यूज करते हो तो हर ब्राउजर अलग पोर्ट ओपन करेगा. पोर्ट स्कैनिंग के लिए बहुत सारे अलग अलग टूल्स अवेलेबल हैं. नेटस्टैट इज अ कमांड लाइन यूटिलिटी जो मैंने आपको कल बताया था, जो आपके पोर्ट्स को मॉनिटर कर सकता है. अनदर इन लिनक्स मशीन्स एंड यूनिक्स मशीन्स इट इज कॉल्ड LSOF. विंडोज में अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो अवेलेबल नहीं है, बट इट्स अ वेरी गुड टूल टू चेक विच पोर्ट नंबर पे क्या सर्विसेज चल रही हैं. LSOF. Okay, so that command, it's a tool which can be used on Mac machines and Linux machines to check which, and then you can give the port number. So you can give LSOF -i space port number and it will tell you उस port पे. Suppose अगर आपको Wireshark बताता है कि ये port पे कुछ activity हो रही है and you want to check कि वो कौन कर रहा है, तो then LSOF command use करके -i space port number you can specify, you will come to know which software, which process is using that port number. And then if you think that is an illegal, like, some virus like activity, then you can terminate that process. Monitoring tool is, as I said, it's only monitors. An intrusion detection system will be the one which will try to repair it also. All right. Okay. So this was all about the monitoring aspect of it. Okay. Yeah, actually slide I should have done in the audit. So what to look for in an IT audit? You have to, when you're doing an audit, when you're monitoring something, you are audit में you are looking at much more details. You are looking at things like password complexities. आपके server के passwords are they complex enough? Permissive ACL. ACL stands for Access Control List. So every firewall, every machine has an access control list. मतलब who can access what? Okay. So what folders can be accessed? ये permissions आपने किस तरह दी है? That has to be checked in the audit. Is the access given properly or not given? Have you given blanket access to everybody or to some folders? Then anybody can take access of that. Or have you monitored that access properly? Okay. Also, non-existent and insufficient file activity auditing will also happen. Is there any file which is not existing and uska activity dikh raha hai? That means something wrong is happening. Okay. Are you using the correct versions of the updated versions of your softwares and security softwares, and are the configurations properly done? See, software एक होता है और उसका configuration दूसरी चीज होती है. Security software install करना आसान है, उसको configure करके उसको maintain करना difficult. इसीलिए you need an expert. Okay. Only compliant softwares are installed on the system is also a very important thing to check during the audit. Okay, and whether your data retention policies are being followed. How are you taking your backups? What are you doing? Is the schedule of maintenance and backups being followed rigidly? Okay, disaster recovery plans. Have you updated it and tested your disaster recovery? Preparedness. Have you done any incident report planning? And how is your incident response? If you detect any abnormal behavior, how does your system handle that? Is also an important aspect of an audit. Sensitive data, have you protected it using encryption or not? And what are the change management procedures which need to be followed in your organization if there is any change in the security requirements or position? So all this will be part of the IT audit. Now there is a couple of things which we will discuss. Okay. The first one is the ISO standard called as 27000. Okay, 2700. Sorry, 2700 means 27,000. So 27001, 27002 as a ISO standard, which is related to information security and its compliance. Okay. So many industries, if you are dealing with sensitive clients, will require you to have these 27,000 series ka, ISO certification, okay, ISO compliance. These are the series के अंदर जो है, mainly you need to worry about 27,001 and 27,002, okay, which is ISMS requirements and ISMS controls. Okay, बाकी सब are more about how things are handled. So the sections of the ISO 27,000 deals with things like risk assessment, okay, security policies, asset management, human resource security, physical and environmental security, communications and operations management, access control. I was just talking to you about how access needs to be controlled, information systems acquisition, development and maintenance, information security, incident management. Incident management is whenever something happens, what do you do? And your business continuity management. ये सब अलग-अलग चीजें हमने अलग-अलग time पे during this the sessions which we have covered during the last 10 days, we've tried to look at each one of them at some point or the other. Okay. So you would have remembered that human resource security comes part of your social engineering attacks. Okay, your physical environment security and all of that we had discussed it during disaster recovery. We had talked about business continuity planning. We had talked about how to maintain your information systems, incident reporting. Okay, risk assessment पे हम लोगों ने discuss किया था कल day before yesterday. Okay, security policy I discussed yesterday. How do you design a security policy? All these come together to, if you want to do your ISO implementation, then this all things will come together and they need to be followed. Okay, this case directives and everything are obviously like any ISO certification depends on the organization. Okay, the objectives and the parameters and the KRAs have to be defined by you. So why is it important? It shows that a business has protected information from getting into an unauthorized hands. So they are prepared for security. It also ensures that the information is accurate and can only be modified by authorized users. It also indicates to your clients and prospective customers that you are assessing the risks and mitigating those as and when they arise. And it indicates that you are being independently assessed by an international standard based on industry's best practices. Okay, so like various other ISO certifications which you all might have be aware about. ISO 27001 is one of the most sought after certifications when it comes to information security requirements. So many of your big clients might require you to be compliant before they can share their data with you. Okay, especially if you are dealing with international clients. Okay, so 27001 is a mandatory requirement for dealing with UK companies, for example. Okay, British companies will definitely mandate you to have this if they are sharing any kind of financial data with you. Okay, so the benefits is that it increases the reliability and security of the systems and your information. It improves your customer and business partners' confidence. Okay, because you have the certification for the security. Okay, so if any customer or client ever asks you that what is the guarantee that my data is secure with you, you need to check your ISO certification. Just show them that. Similarly, if you are sharing your data with any organization, okay, maybe through cloud services or whatever, you can check whether that organization is ISO compliant. Okay, so whether they are following secure policies or not, how do you know? So you can just check for the ISO certification. Increased business resilience because of the various processes which are built into ISO and the expectations of ISO every system, every organization builds into them business continuity planning and disaster recovery planning and all of that, which helps them to be resilient to any kind of attack. Okay, and alignment with the customer's requirements, because many of the customers will require you to be compliant. And improved management processes and integration with corporate risk strategies. So you will automatically be compliant with other risk because IT risk management is part of the overall business risk management, bouquet. So all of that will be taken care of. So any company today who uses IT as its core process for doing any activity, okay, which basically means 90% of all businesses. Okay, because IT is being used to do all the transactions for most of the business processes, because nowadays GST, everything is online. Okay, all your tax returns are online. Okay, so automatically IT becomes your core process. Okay, it's no longer a subsidiary. So that brings us to the penultimate topic of our discussion today. The last thing which we will do, obviously, is just summarize, and then I will keep the forum open for questions which you might have across the 10 days. So, the IT Act 2000 was a landmark, year, because it allowed us to have the first time an act regarding IT. Okay, we were late in comparison to others, but then again, we were late in getting the internet to India as well. So, until the problem exists, we don't solve it. Wala hamara funda hai. So once the problem existed, it started happening. We started to try to find the solution. So the laws were being amended. Now, I would not go into all the sections of the law because I understand, it will be too boring for everybody, and neither it is required. But the important sections which are regarding the various kinds of offenses and their penalties or punishments. Okay. Now, before I start this, please understand that as part of the IT Act 2000, there is a tribunal which has to be set up by the government, by the central government, to handle all cybercrime. Okay. So, for many years, in fact, we never had a cyber cell in Maharashtra. The cyber cell was started pretty late, but it was started. Mumbai cyber cell was the first to start. Now we have a Maharashtra cyber cell, which looks into all offences. It's currently manned by some very good professionals. We work with them very closely sometimes on various training programs and stuff like that. And now there has been a change in the look outside, because most of the पहले क्या हुआ करता था, अभी भी वापस actually वो हो गया है with the new government, that cyber crime was part of the economics offences wing. Okay, because many of the crimes which happened are related to money, and therefore it was part of the EOW. Okay, now under the previous government, it was separated out. There is again talks of putting it back inside, and all of that is happening because every new government wants to undo what the other government had done. So वो सब चल रहा है, but it requires it to be separate. It requires to be independent. It requires to have its under. So there are some good IAS, IPS officers who are handling this. And let's look at the kind of offences which it can cater to. The Act is very important because without the Act, we can't do anything. So the first section, which deals with the first kind of cybercrime, is section 65, which is tampering with computer source documents. Okay, so if a person is known to, fidget with any of the computer's documents, or if you found, it is a crime to do it without permission. Okay, so if you change somebody, so if you delete somebody's file or something like that, they are all crimes. Okay, and depending on what you have done, it can be a fine up to 2 lakhs. Okay, and imprisonment up to 3 years. Okay. Hacking with the computer system is also a crime by the law. So that's why I said ethical hacking, black hat hacking, white hat hacking. By law, hacking
वो यहाँ पे ना ब्लैक लिखा है ना व्हाइट लिखा है. हैकिंग बाय लॉ इज ऑफेंस. Okay, therefore we don't use the word hacking when we do penetration testing. We say it is as penetration testing. It uses hackers, obviously, because that's the common terminology. But the correct terminology is testers. So they are testing your network. They are not hacking your network. Okay. If we call them as hackers, then and if we say that the activity is as hacking, ethical hacking, we will be, it will be a problem only. So we have to call it what it is. It is a penetration test. Okay. So if a person with an internet access is causes wrongful loss of damage of a public or any person, then it can be considered as a hacking activity, and the fine can be up to 5 lakhs and up to 3 years of imprisonment. Similarly, there are publishing of offensive or false information. Okay, fake news जिसे हम लोग कहते हैं, is actually a crime under the cyber law. Okay, उसका क्या यूज होता है और कितना यूज होता है वो डिबेटेबल है, but technically if proven, it is a crime. Receiving stolen computer or communication devices is also crime. Okay, so the question is, when should we go to EOW? So economics offenses being will if you or your client finds any what do you call it, suspect transactions, or if you are being cheated electronically, okay, then it is a cyber crime. Okay, जैसे आपका अगर फेक चेक्स या स्कैम जो होता है, okay, वो इकोनॉमिक्स ऑफेंसेस में आता है ना. So उसी तरह अगर आपको ऑनलाइन चीट किया गया है in terms of money, then it comes under a cyber crime. IT Act 2000 में आता है. In Maharashtra, it used to be under the economics offenses wing. It was separated out. Now I think it has gone back, but I'm not sure as of today उसका क्या status है. During the COVID time में मेरा थोड़ा सा connection with the cybercrime cell थोड़ा छूट गया. Section 66C is using password of another person is actually a criminal offense. Okay, so when you share your password with somebody, okay, and suppose you use somebody else's password, like your wife's password, okay, and if your wife puts a complaint against you, you can be put behind bars. The wife or husband, whichever the case may be. So, especially for wives, if they are using their husband's password to check whether their emails are. So criminally, like there are lots of things which are a crime, right? But nobody's gonna catch you for it. But, passwords, because it can lead to a lot of serious crime. Cheating using computer resources, any kind of cheating. This covers the phishing attacks. So उस वक्त जब ये बनाया गया था, तब ये term phishing was not existing. Okay, so the section deals with all kinds of cheating activities, okay, using a computer resource. So that would include phishing attacks, social engineering attacks, so on and so forth. But you will see that the fine is only up to 1 lakh rupees. So if your phishing attack is more than 1 lakh, then what do you do? Publishing private images of others. So if somebody publishes the private images of others, then that also is a crime. Okay. ये आजकल बच्चों के teenage groups, age group में काफी popular हो गया है. Taking videos and photos of people unknowingly. Okay, आप train में देखेंगे या कोई public place में देखेंगे, there will be some these perverts who are photographing other women or people without their permission, and then maybe publishing it on Facebook or whatever. That is all illegal. So as I said, if a phishing attack is somebody is asking if it is used as training, then that is okay. Na? Ethical hacking के उसमें आ रहा है तो ठीक है. As long as you are not actually causing actual loss to a person, then ठीक है ना. Training में खाली you will just indicate that, but you will not actually steal the money out. Na? So then that is okay. As long as you don't cause harm to anybody, you are safe. Okay. So acts of cyber terrorism. Okay, this is severe punishment, imprisonment up to life can be done if it is found that you are creating cyber terrorism. This is the new age warfare which we are dealing with. Okay, today's the future warfare is all going to be through cyber terrorism. Okay, I don't know if you are aware of Stuxnet. Is anybody aware of Stuxnet? Stuxnet के बारे में सुना है किसी ने? Did Saurabh sir mention it? Okay, this is what now is known. It's now public knowledge. Iranian nuclear facility. Okay, so Iran के अंदर you might be aware that Iran is trying to enrich. It has a plant to enrich uranium. Uranium is used for building a nuclear bomb. So you know that US and Iran are competing. They are at loggerheads. So US wanted to stop their nuclear enrichment program. So what they did was they used a cyber attack called as Stuxnet, which infected the machines of computers of the Iranian nuclear facility and destroyed all the enrichment facility. उनका पूरा का पूरा जो system था वो collapse हो गया. Okay, which actually led to a disaster. And this was done by, so this was, this is a very well documented, known attack by one country over another. Yes, it was done with the help of Israeli, hackers. Because, Israel and, the Arab world are at war. Israel, by the way, is the biggest cyber crime, cyber security related destination of the world. The amount of startups which come out of Israel just in the area of cyber security is phenomenal. Okay, they have some of the best hackers in the world. So acts of cyber terrorism is a very serious offense in India. You might also be aware that बीच में ISRO के machines को hack किया गया था using malware, which was a Chinese malware. So it came into the ISRO's machines through a fellow scientist of ISRO. गलती से उसने अपने घर का ऊपर एक पेन ड्राइव यूज किया था घर के कंप्यूटर में जिसमें वो वायरस कॉपी हो गया. And when it was used he used it for some official purpose in ISRO. The ISRO machine में जब उसने attach किया तो the virus was copied onto the ISRO system, which was a major security flaw in India. Okay, which is documented. There's many of these things जो होती हैं incidents are never reported in the media, especially when it comes to governments. Okay, so they would not want people to know. Some of the things which come out in the public because of various reasons we come to know. Okay, obscene information publication is always has been a crime. Publishing images containing sexual acts is also a crime in under IT section 67A. ये बहुत ही important है आज के ज़माने में because what constitutes sexual act is also very very subjective. Okay, especially with young kids and teenagers and all of that. These are the laws which are misused sometimes. Okay, a law which is very important is what we call as child pornography or pedophilia. तो उसके लिए the fine is up to 10 lakhs अगर second time conviction होता है. Another is if you are failure to maintaining records is an important aspect. But if you are unable to maintain records, if you are an intermediary means if you are somebody who is providing internet facilities to others, then you have to have records. जैसे अगर आपका service provider needs to keep records about your activity on the internet, and as a requirement, it needs to share that information with the government or the security, with the police or anybody, if asked, with due warrants and everything, they will have to produce it. और अगर वो नहीं produce करते हैं, तो it is also a crime. अगर they say कि हमने नहीं store किया या हमने delete कर दिया या गुम हो गया, तो that will also be a crime. Okay, there are a couple of questions. I can take the first one. The second one is not possible for me to answer. The first one is in terms of cybersecurity, where does India stand? So we are, in terms of law, we are okay. In terms of implementation, we are horrible. Okay, like everything. Laws हमारे पास बहुत अच्छे laws होते हैं, but वो implement करने के लिए जो policies required होती हैं, जो infrastructure required होता है, वो अभी तक हमने develop नहीं किया है. Okay. आज भी majority of the cyber crimes are solved by the help of civilians. Okay, हमारा खुद का cyber cell completely independent नहीं हो पाया है, because हमारे यहाँ पे क्या होता है ना, भर्ती cyber cell में पुलिस के थ्रू होती है. अब वो जो आदमी पुलिस के थ्रू भर्ती होगा, वो MPSC एग्जाम देगा, IPSC एग्जाम देगा, UPSC एग्जाम देगा, तो वो भर्ती होगा. उस पढ़ाई, उसकी एंट्रेंस के अंदर साइबर सिक्योरिटी कहाँ से आई? So we don't understand this requirement. So what we do is cyber security के लिए we hire people on contract. We don't hire people on permanent jobs. Okay, and all these kind of problems are there. So implementation is horrible because of the laws and the rules which we have kept. Okay, so there are very few IPS and IAS officers who actually understand cyber security. Okay, in detail, and there's some of them who are there, are because of which थोड़ा बहुत हम लोग safe हैं. Piracy का एक्ट अलग है. अगर आप वो आपके इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी के इसमें जाए piracy. जो if the lady sends a photo and then a man sends a photo back, तो उसका क्या होगा वो तो मुझे नहीं पता. वो तो एक्चुअल लॉ में देखना पड़ेगा. It is a matter of law, not of cyber crime. लॉ का इंटरप्रिटेशन करने के लिए मैं लॉयर नहीं हूँ, अनफॉर्चुनेटली. ओके, द अपीलिएट बॉडी जो मैंने कहा था, जो ट्राइब्यूनल है, साइबर क्राइम अपीलिएट बॉडी, जो साइबर क्राइम ट्राइब्यूनल है, it can issue ordinances and requirements, and if they are not complied with, then there can be fines against that. So there is provision for that. If any data is identified and it needs to be decrypted, and if you are not decrypted, then there is a possible fine of up to 7 years of imprisonment. ये प्रॉब्लम बहुत हुआ था with companies like iPhone, because iPhone said that we cannot decrypt our data. हमारे पास possibility नहीं है, it is completely encrypted. Because of which there was a huge concern whether iPhones should be allowed to be sold in India or not. Okay, because then criminals can use it, and the data, अगर criminal का phone capture भी कर लिया तो हम उसका data नहीं पढ़ पाएंगे. Okay, so Mr. Vikram has a very good question. What happens when a cyber fraud or an attack happens? Okay, so if it is a serious criminal offense which you feel, the first thing you need to do is now you need to go to the police station. Because as per the new directive, the police, your local police station needs to register the case first. And then the current act of Maharashtra allows for cyber cell to be there in every police station. So as per the law, there has to be somebody who has to be trained in every police station for this kind of crimes. जो handle करेगा. See, police will. I'm sorry to say, but हमारे यहाँ पे तो ना FIR लिखने के लिए हर चीज के लिए मना करती है. Because the moment you write, if an FIR is filed, उनका crime rate बढ़ जाता है. So they try to prevent filing FIR for everything. अगर आप बोलोगे कि मेरे घर में मर्डर हो गया तो भी वो FIR लिखने को डरेंगे. तो भी वो FIR लिखने के लिए कुछ ना कुछ नाना का नहीं कर सकते. So cyber crime में भी वही problem होता है. And many of the times it is the problem of training and awareness created amongst the police. Because बहुत सारी चीजों के लिए ना cyber crime report नहीं किया. See, money matter में people are ready to file an FIR. अगर आप बोलोगे कि मेरे 5 लाख रुपया चोरी हो गया, they will file an FIR. But if you tell them that मेरे बेटे का किसी ने या मेरी बेटी का किसी ने फोटोग्राफ मॉर्फ करके डाल दिया है, तो वो जल्दी से वो लोग फाइल नहीं करते हैं. वो प्रॉब्लम है. But you have to go to your police station. Your local police station is where you are supposed to go. Sir, if they don't file, what to do? Then you can make a complaint against the police, the reporting officer, whoever is there. You know, उसका complaint आप उसको written complaint किया जा सकता है. As per law, they are supposed to file the FIR. That is the law. If you know the law, you can push for it. See, any system can be hacked. Pegasus का जो attack था वो काफी complicated attack था. Can't get into the details right now. But basically कोई भी system hack किया जा सकता है. कोई भी system completely hack proof कोई नहीं होता. Bhavika Gandhi says, sir, is there any way to identify fake email ID resembling to email address saved emails? How do you fake email ID? मतलब क्या? Email ID is an email ID. If I make an email ID जिसका नाम होगा narendramodi@gmail.com, it is a valid email ID. अब आप वो email ID देख के मुझे नरेंद्र मोदी समझोगे तो वो आपकी गलती है. Okay, so suppose somebody has a email ID is Narendra Modi और मैंने बना दिया narendra.modi@gmail. I can register अगर वो किसी और के पास नहीं होगा तो, and I can send an email, and if you don't read that dot, it is your fault. Okay. And hacking today nowadays, mostly majority of the hacking which is happening is of remote or wireless devices, including phones. So you have to be very careful with devices nowadays. See, there are lots of ways you can report. RBI की वेबसाइट पे आप अगर आप अपलोड भी करोगे तो RBI is not going to do anything. RBI will still ask you to go and first file the FIR to the local police station. Okay, RBI just wants to keep a track of all the offences because they feel that lot of under reporting is happening. Under reporting means जैसे आपने कहा ना FIR नहीं register कर रहे हैं, so they want to keep a track of that. That's what they are trying to do. But finally, RBI can't do anything in the case of a fraud. It has to be through your processing. One of the things which I always say is there is an insurance policy against fraud also. Most of the cards have insurances to protect against fraud. उसका कुछ limit होता है 2 लाख 5 लाख depending on the card. Please ensure that you have subscribed to all your cards, especially for your senior citizens in your family. Okay, so don't use cards which you like, don't issue cards which you don't want. ईमेल आईडी ट्रेस करना, अगर आपका पैसा लॉस हुआ है, किसी भी मोड से लॉस हुआ हो, वो ईमेल आईडी से हुआ हो, कुछ भी हुआ हो, you have to report the crime, and there are enough trained people available to trace it. Now the problem is, sorry, there is not enough. There are people who can trace it. Rather, but the problem is that the number of people required is very high because of a country like India, and currently government does not hire these many people. तो जैसे मैंने कहा, सिविलियंस के ऊपर बेस पे रखा जाता है, बहुत सिविलियंस तो फ्री में काम करते हैं, मतलब just as a honorary work with no payment. But now, how long can you that work? Think of it. Think of it that suppose there is an economic offense, a financial offense. Can I get a chartered accountant to come and do forensic accounting for free for me? Can I get a trained forensic accountant for free? कोई एक आध बार कर देगा किसी कंपनी गवर्नमेंट के लिए, एक बार कर देगा या 2 बार कर देगा, क्या वो रोज बैठ के अपना काम छोड़ के थोड़ी करने वाला? Accessing a resource without permission is a crime. If caught, you can be punished. आपने कुछ किया कि नहीं किया? It is like, जैसे मैंने कहा, चोर, किसी के घर में घुसना चोरी है, ट्रेसपासिंग है. ओके, अब आपने अंदर घुसी, किसी का खून नहीं किया, आप अभी बाहर आ गए, बट अगर आप अंदर जब थे तब पकड़े गए तो यू आर अ क्रिमिनल. पकड़े जाना क्राइम है. ओके, बाकी कुछ भी करो. टेक्निकली आप अगर अपने वाइफ का मोबाइल या अपने हस्बैंड का मोबाइल चेक करते हैं, आपने क्राइम किया है. साइबर क्राइम के लॉज के हिसाब से, अंडर द प्रोविजन ऑफ साइबर क्राइम, इट इज अ क्राइम टू चेक योर वाइफ और योर हस्बैंड फोन. अब अगर वो कोर्ट में जाता है तो कोर्ट उसको किस तरह देखता है, वो द जज कैन डिसाइड. आई कैन नॉट डू एनीथिंग अबाउट इट. स्ट्रिक्टली स्पीकिंग इट्स अ क्राइम, भले आप उसके बाद कुछ ना करो उसका. जब अपना वाइफ का या हस्बैंड का डेटा नहीं देख सकते तो किसी और का तो दूर की बात है. Securing access or attempting to secure access to protected systems. Okay, जो आपका क्वेश्चन था वो. तो if any system में भाई गवर्नमेंट ने डिक्लेयर कर दिया कि भाई ये प्रोटेक्टेड है, तो उसको फिर तो कुछ भी करना आपको डायरेक्टली, you can be put behind bars for 10 years. So government can declare anything unaccessible. Misrepresentation again is another thing. If you misrepresent data in front of the tribunal, then also you can be put, there's a penalty for that. So अलग-अलग rules and laws हैं. I will suggest one thing which is very in your in आपके area में, you need to make your सर्कल ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंस आपका जो है, जैसे मैं आपसे आज बात कर रहा हूँ तो मैंने आपको बताया साइबर क्राइम क्या होता है. You need to make your clients and your people in your family aware about or how to keep themselves safe. Okay, so the things which we have learned during these 10 days, okay, it is important for you to actually practice them. So practice मतलब क्या करना है? ठीक है, आप किसी को हैक करना नहीं सीखोगे, मैंने सिखाया भी नहीं है, वो करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Okay, it is important that you at least know what are the good practices to do. Okay, which will keep you safe. All right. So CEH is a certification for ethical hacking. अगर आपको उसका डिटेल्स का सिलेबस आपको ऑनलाइन मिल जाएगा, एंड अगर आप CEH सर्व करोगे तो डिपेंडिंग आपका एरिया के हिसाब से आपको विल गेट लॉट ऑफ ट्रेनर्स एंड कोर्सेज अवेलेबल ऑनलाइन आल्सो एंड ऑफलाइन आल्सो. CEH. Yes, Mr. Girish Panjwani, I remember that I need to show you a demo of a cloud. So there goes. So I'm going to cloud.google.com. This is an example of a cloud. Okay. Okay. And over here you can say let me just. So मैं already logged in हूँ. As you can see on the right hand side corner मेरा photo दिखता है आपको. Okay, if I click on the console button, once you have logged in, ये मेरा private cloud है, इसलिए I can go. I cannot open my company's cloud for you. That will be breach of privacy. So ethical hackers, how do they protect themselves? They actually get a form signed by the company which they are dealing with, which is indemnity. Indemnity का clause होता है उसमें, okay, which prevents the company from launching a FIR against the ethical hacker. So it covers a certain period also, because उस period के बाद अगर उन्होंने कुछ भी activity की, तो that will be considered as actual hacking, non-ethical hacking. So it covers the period, and it also lists out the detail of what they are allowed to do and what they are not allowed to do. Okay. So for example, they can engineer social engineering attacks, but they cannot use that data to actually move money or transactions, okay, beyond a certain amount. So what they will do is they might do a $1 transaction or a ₹1 transaction just to prove that they can do it. Okay, that will be part of the the agreement which they signed before they launch the penetration test or the simulated attack. Okay, so what you see in front of you now is the Google Cloud platform. Okay, currently I had built this. I had opened this account many years ago. And I created my first project. वो सब अभी आपको नहीं दिखा सकता, वो सब उसका बहुत outdated हो गया. This was done in somewhere in 2017. Okay. यहाँ पे आपको दिखेगा कि आपके जितने भी projects होंगे वो you will be able to see them over here. Okay. If you click on the tab upstairs, you will see all the projects which you have. So this will be software systems which you are running on the cloud. Okay. So they are called as projects in the terminology of Google. ओके, तो आपके जितने भी सॉफ्टवेयर आप रन कर रहे हैं क्लाउड में वो यहाँ पे आपको दिखेंगे. ओके, यहाँ पे आपका बिलिंग होगा. अगर आपको ये टाइल्स दिख रही है, दिस इज द डैशबोर्ड. सो यहाँ पे आपका बिलिंग होगा. दिस करेंटली विल शो मी दैट आई हैव बीन बिल्ड 0 बिकॉज़ आई डोंट यूज एनीथिंग. ओके, इट विल आल्सो शो यू द रिसोर्सेज व्हिच यू आर यूजिंग. सो स्टोरेज में यहाँ पे आपको दिखेगा कि मेरे स्टोरेज में 2 बकेट्स यूज हो रहे हैं. 2 बकेट्स इज हाउ दे कैलकुलेट यहाँ पे डेटा कहाँ पे स्टोर हो रहा है. ओके, एरर रिपोर्टिंग भी अवेलेबल है. कितना नेटवर्क एक्सेस है, कितना यूज हो रहा है, वो यहाँ पे ग्राफ में दिखेगा. बिकॉज आई एम नॉट यूजिंग एनीथिंग, मेरा ग्राफ एम्प्टी है. देयर इज नो नथिंग इन माय ग्राफ टू सी. ओके, बट अगर मेरा एप्लीकेशन सच में डिप्लॉयड होता, यूज में होता, तो आपको वहाँ पे ग्राफ्स दिखते. ओके, देन देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ टूल्स व्हिच आर अवेलेबल. यहाँ पे लेफ्ट में आपको बहुत सारी चीजें दिखेगी. उसमें से कुछ चीजें मैं आपको थोड़ा सा ऊपर से बता देता हूँ. App Engine is where you can create your own software and load. Okay, Compute Engine allows you to do complicated software processing and all of that. Storage में अलग-अलग टाइप का स्टोरेज Google Cloud प्रोवाइड करता है. SQL स्टोरेज प्रोवाइड करता है. नॉन SQL स्टोरेज जिसे हम लोग बिग टेबल कहते हैं, वो भी प्रोवाइड करता है. और भी अलग-अलग तरह के फाइल स्टोरेज एंड फायर स्टोर्स एंड एवरीथिंग इट प्रोवाइड्स. There is also some algorithms which are available, tools which are available. Okay, for us to use. Okay, जैसे AI tools हैं आपको दिखेंगे. So AI data sets and all of natural language processing, ये सब डेवलपर्स के काम का है. ओके, ये यहाँ पे अगर आपको मैं दिखाऊं तो ये कंसोल का बटन है ऊपर. तो ये मेरा क्लाउड का शेल है. दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच यू विल गेट इन लिनक्स या मैक टर्मिनल विंडो जब आप करेंगे. तो यहाँ पे मेरा शेल ओपन हो गया. So this is my cloud server. This is not my server. Okay, so this server actually is somewhere in the Google data center. जहाँ पे मेरा एप्लीकेशन डिप्लॉयड है, जहाँ पे मेरा क्लाउड डिप्लॉयड है. ओके, ये जो मेरा प्रोजेक्ट है स्टारी बैटरी, वो मेरा प्रोजेक्ट है जो डिप्लॉयड है. I can do an ls which will give me the files which are in my directory. Okay, you might see a hi.txt. I can do a cat. Don't worry about the command, ये किसी काम में नहीं आएंगे आपको. The hi.txt is just tell you hello guys. Okay, मैंने खाली एक hello मैसेज डाला हुआ था. Okay, so you can see hello guys यहाँ पे. I can do something like cal. तो ये सब कमांड जो एग्जीक्यूट हो रहे हैं ये सर्वर पे एग्जीक्यूट हो रहा है. कैल मतलब कैलेंडर, तो आज का तारीख दिखा रहा है 27. Okay. So it will tell me the time since of users and all of that. There are various commands. तो ये IF config जो मैंने कहा था, it tells me the IP address of my server and everything. So I'm opening that shell, थोड़ा सा बड़ा कर रहा हूँ ताकि आप लोगों को दिखे. What steps need to be taken by the company after penetration testing, as the hackers or testers are outside the agency? Okay, so they need to monitor the resources and what the penetration testing has uncovered, and जो भी उन्होंने uncover किया होगा उस चीज को उनको ये करना होता है. क्या करते हैं? गैप्स को भरनी होती है जो भी लूप होल्स उनको मिलते हैं. So those are the important steps because the testers would have given you. Yes, so if one website wants to show certain parts of other website, it is done through certain APIs. अगर आपको देखना होगा तो मैं आपको दिखा सकता हूँ. मेरे वेबसाइट पे, okay, I have my website called as asifr.me. This is my personal website. Okay, on my website I have taken all my YouTube videos and put over there. तो मेरे जो चैनल में अगर मैं YouTube videos डालता हूँ तो ऑटोमेटिकली वहाँ पे जा सकते हैं. I don't have many videos, but I can automatically take videos which I upload into my YouTube channel and put it on my website. That is done through API. So ये API services आपको यहाँ पे दिखेंगे. तो अगर मैं डैशबोर्ड में जाता हूँ, you will see that I have an API running for my YouTube. मैं credentials में जाऊँगा, आपको दिखेगा. So you see this API key which is there. This is which I've generated for taking my YouTube channel from Google, which is hosted on Google server, to directly come into my website. So in my website, if I go to my videos, I have pulled my YouTube videos directly over here. Okay, you can have a look at this webinar if you want to. The art of learning something new during lockdown. Okay, so these are all videos which are coming from my YouTube channel. Okay, automatically. क्लाउड शेल को चालू होने में बहुत टाइम लगता है, तब मैं दूसरा क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर रहा हूँ. If one website wants to show, once the audit is conducted and report given stating IT security is proper, and later if any cyber attack takes place, then what will be the action against or not? वो तो आपके एग्रीमेंट में होता है. और एनीबडी वो जो आपका सिक्योरिटी चेक करता है वो आपको ये तो भी गारंटी देता है कि भाई उसके बाद कोई चोरी नहीं होगी. ओके, उसके लिए तो आपको इंश्योरेंस लेना पड़ेगा. यू कैन टेक इंश्योरेंस फॉर अगेंस्ट एवरीथिंग, राइट? इंश्योरेंस इज डिफरेंट. नोबडी कैन गारंटी एनीथिंग कि भाई मैंने आज कर दिया आपका सिस्टम चेक, अब इसके बाद कोई चोरी नहीं हो सकती, ये कोई गारंटी नहीं दे सकता. हार्ट हार्ट बड़े से बड़ा हार्ट सर्जन भी अगर आपका सर्जरी करने को जाएगा तो वो पहले ही आपसे लिखवा लेगा कि अगर आपकी मौत हो गई तो आई एम नॉट रिस्पॉन्सिबल. जब आपकी लाइफ की गारंटी डॉक्टर नहीं देता तो कोई पेनिट्रेशन टेस्टर, एथिकल हैकर आपके नेटवर्क की गारंटी क्या देगा? Yes, you can sync all your data to the cloud, no problem. What you need to do is you need to just buy more space. Yes, you can do AI software coding on your laptop. There are lots of tools available online for doing that. Okay, but उसके लिए क्लाउड की जरूरत नहीं है. बेसिक AI can be coded directly on your laptop only. Python यूज करके. अगर आप मशीन लर्निंग का कोर्स करना चाहते हैं तो मशीन लर्निंग कोर्स ऑन Coursera is very good, which will help you understand how to do it on the cloud. So there are lots of other things which are there. Okay. If there are files on your machine which are not being used, okay, that also can be an indication of something. Therefore, वो file audit में वो दिखाया जाता है, IT audit. हम लोग एक्सेस चेक करते हैं बहुत सारी चीजों का. अगर कोई फाइल जिसको एक्सेस नहीं हो रहा है वो भी देखा जाता है. I don't know, the console is not coming up for some reason, it is very slow. But that's it. Any other questions, guys? I started late, but I finished on time. Yes, the PPTs are ready. I will, कल का भी PPT ready है. I will just, the moment I end the session, I will upload it. मैं WhatsApp ग्रुप में हूँ ही ना, मेरा नंबर सबको मालूम ही है. Okay, so that's my number. So that's my number, and you can mail me at mail@asifr.me. ये मेरा personal email ID है. You can always use that. They send it to everybody, or do I send it to only one person? Mail@asifr.me. Did you receive my email ID? सबको मिल गया ना? I don't know. इधर WhatsApp ग्रुप में डाल दूंगा.
हम लोग जो आज जंगल बुक जंगल बुक में हम लोग वीडियो चलाएंगे।
All right, that's it then. Thank you everyone. It was a pleasure having interacted with all of y'all. I really had fun and I hope you all did too. Sorry, हर किसी का आंसर देना मेरे बस में पॉसिबल नहीं है. I tried my level best and थोड़ा बहुत technical difficulties हुई हैं during the sessions, but with the kind of situation we are all in, yeah, I can apologize, but unfortunately they were out of my hands. I would be happy, जैसे मैंने कहा, आपने जो सीखा है वो implement करिएगा. Most importantly, awareness about security is very important. Be aware that security is a concern. चोरी होने के ऊपर पहले हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, जब कोई चोरी होती है कि तू ध्यान नहीं दे रहा होगा, तूने अपनी वॉलेट संभाल के नहीं रखी होगी. वैसा ही होता है साइबर क्राइम में भी. मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द टाइम इट इज आवर फूलिशनेस एंड आवर लैक ऑफ कॉमन सेंस. ओके, साइबर क्राइम क्रिमिनल कोई बहुत बड़ा इंटेलिजेंट आदमी नहीं होता है. बहुत बड़ा इंटेलिजेंट आदमी इंडिविजुअल के पीछे नहीं जाते. दे गो बिहाइंड वेरी बिग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. ओके, इंडिविजुअल्स के पीछे जाते हैं लोग जो बहुत ही लिमिटेड कैपेसिटी वाले होते हैं. They cannot go for behind an organization, so they come behind you, and you get fooled because we are careless, nothing else. Yes, and we are planning for a module on the Microsoft Office productivity tools. But what we are trying to do is not regular PowerPoint, Excel जैसे normal सिखाते हैं वैसे नहीं सिखाया जाएगा उस कोर्स में. We will be trying to integrate Microsoft tools, how to integrate them and use them. Okay, which is a very different module compared to how to use PowerPoint, Excel. तो सबको आता होगा, नहीं भी आता होगा तो ठीक है. But how to integrate them and what are the latest features in Microsoft Office which nobody knows, the hidden features. Those are the features which we will talk about in that session. Currently, the date has not been declared. We are planning to host in the first week of June another session on business intelligence for chartered accountants, because the last time we did AI and BI, we got a response that थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा technical हो गया था. So we will be doing one. Those who have not attended that can attend our session for AI BI for we are going to do more accounting examples this time. Greed, fear and idleness. Well said, Mr. Pan. The 3 reasons for fraud. Greed, fear and idleness. I always say, laziness is the most important problem. I'm sorry, even I do. Most of the problems or mistakes which I commit are because I'm lazy. Okay, and IT people are the most lazy because हम लोगों को ना सब कुछ automate करने की बहुत आदत है. हर चीज का shortcut निकालने की आदत. All right, everyone. Ms. Shweta, are you there? Okay, so I will end the session now, unless there are any more questions. Some people have already left, that's good. All right. See you soon. Bye-bye, guys. Take care. Stay safe. Stay safe. Any queries put on the group, I will answer them on the group. Okay, I'm just disconnecting from the